guys, does capitalism have you down?
Does the constant pressure to be productive get to you?
Are you tired of being a cog in the machine?
Then we invite you to be a part of the revolution against toxic productivity by embracing the useless things.
Welcome to episode 69
69?
of the Very Unimportant People podcast.
Do less. Or no, instead of do less, nice.
Nice. If you don't get what we're talking about, please go to our Instagram.
Yeah, also, I think 69 is just a universal joke, though.
It's true.
So I
it's
feel
true.
like we probably understand it, yeah. It's weird how it's a joke, though, because 69 is so gross.
I know. It's like the least
take.
practical and just least enjoyable experience
I
there
gotta
is.
agree with you on that one. I've never had a fun time doing that. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but fucking let me know in the comments down below.
I'm your host, Courtney, and this week I went on my first hot girl walk.
Oh,
And I will be bringing that into my regular routine.
I
Why don't you
love that for you. My name is Lidia, and this week I haven't thought of anything to say yet. I know. I played Shuffleboard for the first time.
Oh, interesting. I don't even know what shuffleboard is. That the one where there's like sand?
Yeah, there's like sand. Yeah, so basically
sand
it's like this long table, and then there's little grains of sand on it. And then there's these really heavy, like circular things, and you kind of just push them towards. It's actually super easy. You like just push it, and then it rolls along the sand really, really nicely. Like you don't need a lot of pressure or anything like that. And then it either lands in space 1, 2, or 3, and 3 is the highest points, 2 is the second highest, 1 is whatever, and then middle. If you don't get past the middle, you don't get any points. And then if you send it off, then obviously you don't get any points either. But yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. Lots of room for creativity, you know. Creative shots.
Creativity.
Sure, you can like turn around, go backwards and do it. You can like hit people's things out of the way because there's 2 teams. It's like bocce ball. Have you ever played bocce ball? Were you one of those families who played bocce? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, it's like
And
bocce where right? It's such a white person thing to do. God damn it, Dad. Why'd you have to bring your British roots into this? He's like, bocce is so fun. Bocce is the best, blah, blah, blah. It's actually, I'm like, it's okay. It's fine. It's not too bad. Yeah. So yeah, that was that experience. And yeah, we ended up just going out with like Kayla's 2 friends who came to visit from Australia. And
Whoa.
yeah, and like they came to visit, and they also invited me to go to Australia, so that's on the docket now. And I accidentally got them a little drunk, I think. I was just like, I'm usually the person, I feel like, in friend groups who's like, let's drink some more.
Yeah. I was about to ask how that happened, and then I was like, no need to ask.
It was just me. I was just like, ooh. Yeah. I was like, ooh, $4 shots, you guys. Should we get some? And I was like, 4 shots for the table, please. And so we had a couple shots of Fireball, and then eventually they were just like, we gotta go home. We gotta go home and drink some water. I was like, okay. Sorry, guys. I feel like kind of a bad bitch because my tolerance is through the roof, even though I'm on Accutane. So Accutane don't got nothing on me. It's actually insane. Nothing
I don't
changed.
think it affects your tolerance. I think you're just like not supposed to do it.
Oh, I thought you get like super fucked up on it because your body. Oh, okay. That explains a lot.
Yeah,
that
it's
explains
just
a
like
lot.
fucking up your liver a little bit more, but
I don't drink that
who needs
much
one of those
though.
anyways? Yeah.
Like I really only drink like every 2 weeks or something like that. So it's not insane. It's like not like when my brain is shrinking that much any more than it already has. I think the damage has been done.
We don't really need all of that anyways.
No, I've seen enough. I've thought enough.
We're good.
2% less, please. Yeah. What was your hot girl walk? Hot girl.
So it's like a trend that, of course, I saw on TikTok.
Of course.
It's my life. But it's basically this walk that you go on, and some people do like it's supposed to be a daily walk, but
oh yeah,
I hate daily routines, so it'll be for me whenever I feel like it will benefit me. I don't do daily routines.
I love that.
But it's supposed to be like a daily 1 hour to 45-minute walk. Where you get ready and you wear something that you feel cute in. It can be like athletic clothes, but you have to like kind of feel cute.
Yeah.
And then you put in your headphones and you put on some music or you put on a podcast and you just walk. And you're only allowed to think about 3 things while you're walking. The first is your goals.
Mm-hmm.
The second is everything you're grateful for.
Aww.
And the third thing is how hot you are. And those are the only things that you're allowed to think about
God.
while you're walking.
I'm obsessed with this.
It was so much fun, too. You just, like, strut your stuff down the street.
You're like, damn, I look good.
Yeah.
In this
and then you just think about all the
athleisure.
things that are great in your life and how great you are. And then you come back and you just feel so much better.
That's so fantastic. Oh my
know.
God. That sounds really lovely. I really miss going for like nice long walks. I used to do that a lot in the suburbs. Just like literally like I would go for like 1 hour, 2 hour long walks with or without a person, you know, either way. I was just going for that
Yeah,
walk.
you did that. She did that when she came to visit me. She was just like, I'm going for a walk. And she was gone for like 3 hours. She came back. She had been to the castle.
Well, that was
She,
that was just an accident. I was just like going for a regular walk, and then the next thing I know, I was just like, oh, I'm actually kind of close to this castle. So I went into the castle, and then I got out of the castle, and then it was just like, oh, it's a 2 hour walk home. I was like, okay, I fucked up. It took me so long to get back to Courtney's house.
You could have just texted me.
I know, I
Like,
should
"Can you pick me
have.
up?"
I totally should have, because it was like a 20-minute drive, but the walk was just so long. But I was like, I don't want to bother them. Like, it was my choice to go out on this little walk, so I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
Cool.
Fun stuff.
What kind of stuff did you think about? Like, were you just like, oh my God, I'm the hottest person to ever walk this earth? And I'm also grateful
I
for...
kind of like split my time because it's really hard to fill an hour with thoughts.
Yeah.
Only good thoughts. I found that really challenging.
Yeah.
So I would just rotate through the roster, you know, do some goals, think about how good I look, and then think about some things that I'm grateful for, and then just go back through the roster.
Nice.
Exactly.
Just recycling it over and over. That sounds fucking awesome.
But it was good.
Dude.
It was good. I felt better. And
Yeah. Sounds so refreshing.
Practice for everyone to bring into their lives, even if you're not per se a girl. You can still go on a hot girl walk.
Yeah. Yeah. Hot girl walks have no gender.
I have no gender.
The word girl actually has no gender anymore.
No, it honestly doesn't. It's just
I say hey girl to like my male bosses. And they're like, okay.
Girl.
I'm like, girl. It's actually fun.
it's becoming like dude, you know?
Yeah.
Both
Yeah.
genderless. You can use them for anyone.
Yeah, dude is super genderless too. Dude, yo, man.
Yeah. So
And also, Courtney has recovered from COVID, by the way. She's
yeah,
going on hot
am-
girl walks, COVID free.
I'm alive. I've recovered from COVID. I finally tested negative. I've been stuck inside for, hold on, let me just do some quick maths here. 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
3 weeks. 3.5 weeks. Because I went to Vancouver and then I came back and then Janaid got COVID. And then I didn't get COVID until like a week after him. But I had to quarantine while he had COVID. So it just made it extra long. But I'm finally here. I'm alive. I'm well. I'm still a little
Schniffle.
husky. I don't know. Sniffly, congested. But it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't have COVID. So living life. I don't recommend. 0 out of 10. It was so fucking boring.
Yeah, it sounded
So
really
boring.
bad and boring. Don't get COVID because you'll just get so bored.
So bored.
Yeah, I remember those days when like TV, I just like couldn't watch TV anymore. Not that I had COVID, but like during the first like
That's what it felt like.
during the entire lockdown, actually, it was just like I just can't fucking watch another episode of
At the
anything.
beginning of the lockdown again, when we were all
Yeah.
like terrified of doing anything and we had to stay inside and everything was closed. Except I couldn't even go to the grocery store. Couldn't even have that little joy in life. I had to just.
That's so sad. Oh man,
Yeah.
what a weird time to look back on. Like all you could do was go to the grocery store.
Yeah. And go for walks.
Yeah.
walks.
I mean, I feel like I still kind of like do that in my daily life
Same.
sometimes. Like sometimes all I do is
Same,
go to
it's
the
not
grocery store.
Honestly, all that different.
But yeah.
But I just felt
But it
just
is.
felt, when you don't have the option to, if you need to,
Yeah.
it feels more restrictive. When I practice it out of my own choice, it's okay. I just
It's
didn't
the
like not
psychological.
having the option.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't do it, and now you're like, "Fuck! I wanted to
I
do
want
so
to."
many things." Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. That reminds me of something. Last thing, and then we could go on to.
Oh yeah.
That reminds me of something Janaid once said, where I think we were talking. I don't remember. I think we were talking about like what you would do if you found out that you were dying in 2 weeks or something, and like how your life would change or something like that. I don't remember what the context was, but we were talking about it last time I came to visit
So
you.
deep. Yeah.
And like I was just like, oh man, I would change so many things. Like I can't, like maybe I was talking about moving out. I was like, I can't wait to move out. Like my life is gonna be so different. And he was just like, honestly, like it's just like a human being thing to think that your life is gonna be so different if you do this like different thing. But in reality, you'll just be doing mostly the same stuff. I was like, huh. Kind of true. Like you do all these grand changes, but still, you're still buying groceries. You're still just like making food, and like
the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching West Side Story last night. They like redid it. There's a 2021 version now.
Oh,
it has
no
Ansel from The Fault in Our Stars.
That guy. Oh my god.
So it's kind of weird, but it's fun. It's fun. So I was watching it last night, and like this is a movie from the 60s. That's when like the original one came out, and literally every single theme that they're talking about is still an issue in America today. Like it was still so relevant, and the song America is all about like how they say America's so great, but like there's all these issues, like everything's free in America for a small fee in America. Like literally everything is so relevant and still
that's funny,
an issue. So yeah, I was thinking about that last night. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Really cool. I need to watch that. Yeah, it sounds great.
I recommend. Anyways, let's get into the one opinion this week, because this is the second week that we're doing one opinion, and it is my opinion this week. And I forgot to write what the opinion was. The topic.
Right, just freeballing.
The topic is handedness, and we'll come to our conclusion at the end. Maybe we'll take you all through it. We'll come to the conclusion. Okay. And when I say handedness, I'm talking about like right-handedness versus left-handedness. And now, I haven't really thought about this too much, but when I was on the way back from Vancouver on the ferry, we were sitting behind these like two older ladies and this young guy. I think it was one of their sons in like aunt situation, mom and aunt, whatever. And they were passing a phone back and forth and like playing this word game. And at first the son wasn't very good at it. And then he started like beating them once he learned how to do it.
Nice.
And one of the aunts or mothers said something that really just took me by surprise. I was totally eavesdropping. And she said, she was like, oh, it's because he's left-handed. People who are left-handed, they learn things slower, but once they get the hang of it, they're really good at it.
What?
And I was just like,
I've never heard that before in my life.
Me neither. And I was like, is this a thing? Like, are there things about left-handed people that are different than right-handed people that I'm not aware of?
Whoa.
So that's kind of what led me down this rabbit hole. And let me tell you that, to be honest with you, there probably isn't that much that's different, but there are a lot of people that think there are many different things. It's more of like an urban legend or like a myth.
Ooh.
That left-handed people are different when they're kind of not really, but sometimes
they just learn different. I was gonna say, I was like, can I be a slow learner if I'm right-handed? Because I feel like this applies to me a little bit too.
You're just like a closeted left-handed person. You don't actually know.
Maybe I'm actually originally left-handed, but I was like forced to learn to write with my right or something like that.
That happens a lot. People actually force their kids to change their hands because there's so many like negative connotations about being left-handed.
Really? I thought it was just easier, like because the world is built for right-handed people. So
the world is built for right-handed. That's part of my opinion. It's
sorry.
No. It's
getting
okay.
ahead of you.
It's really sad, but the world is just built for right-handed people, and left-handed people just like struggling their way through it.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So
the ink.
About 90% of the population is right-handed. About 10% are left-handed, and then there's about 1% that are ambidextrous, so they can
so cool.
switch between hands. I know.
I'm so jealous.
And it's actually been this way since the Stone Age. It's always kind of been this way, and researchers don't really know why humans switch their dominant hands. There's a couple of theories, but all of the theories have also kind of been disproved in a way. So they just don't really know why. And so one of the theories is language dominance. So in most cases, in most people's brains, the left-hand side of the brain controls language. And like language is a really labor-intensive thing for your brain to be thinking of. So the theory is that since the left-hand side is controlling language, the brain delegates like motor tasks to the right. To the right-hand side of the brain. And that's kind of what affects the hand that you choose, because
That's
your brain's
so
like, I got
fucking
too much going on
sick.
this side, so I'm going to switch it to the other side.
Yeah,
so it's a
let's
cool
just do
theory.
the other one. Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, it's not completely supported, because about 30% of left-handed people don't have left hemisphere language dominance. So it's
They have,
disproved. Some of them do.
right?
Some of their brains switch.
Yeah.
And so, it's the opposite of a right-handed person, but it doesn't hold for every left-handed person.
So you can be left-handed and have your left part of the brain doing language as well. And it doesn't mean that you're like worse at speaking English or something if you're left-handed. You're like worse at learning languages if you're left-handed.
Some people think that you might be.
Wow, cool.
We'll get into that again.
Okay.
And then there's the genetics theory, which is kind of complicated. There's some things that support that your hand dominance could be genetics. It says that if you're left-handed, there's about 26% chance of your child being left-handed.
Oh, that's pretty low. That just sounds like regular odds.
Yeah, they also think that it could just be because children are mirroring their parents.
Yeah.
If they see their parent doing everything with their left hand and like teaching them how to write with their left hand, or have people around them that are left-handed, they might just adopt that because that's the norm in their life.
Totally.
So it could be, but it could not be.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is kind of some research that backs up that it could actually have to do with the diet or stress of a pregnant person while they're pregnant.
What?
Apparently, pregnant people who go under more stress, who eat worse during their pregnancy, who have certain nutritional deficiencies during their pregnancies, are more likely to have left-handed children.
Oh,
and
interesting.
Some people actually think that left-handedness is a sign of brain damage.
Like there's something fucking wrong with you.
There's something wrong with you. Because of like the nutritional deficiencies during pregnancy.
Yeah. Wow. I can see why people don't really like want
their
people
kids to be
left-handed. Yeah, because there's so much like stigma attached to being a left-handed person. You know, they're like, wow, your mom was a horrible pregnant woman, huh? You have brain damage.
They're brain damage.
Like you didn't develop in the womb enough, huh? Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And babies actually show their handedness, or fetuses actually show their handedness in the womb. By
really?
Sucking like a certain thumb in the womb. Researchers have like looked at the babies and then kind of followed them through life and figured out that the thumb that they suck is actually the hand that they generally choose.
That's cool, but I don't really buy it.
You don't buy it? How do you not buy it?
I just think that it's what you learn. Like, I think that you could just learn to be left-handed. You could learn to be right-handed. I don't know if it's specifically to do with like a genetic cause, like, and that you can tell in the womb or something like that. Because if you're left-handed, and that means that you don't, like if we follow the theory about the nutrition and about the mothering and stuff like that and about being in the womb, then that means that we were all left-handed at some point, and then because of like proper care, I guess, we transitioned into right-handed.
Or while right-handed, and then deficiencies cause
us to be left-handed. Interesting.
Our brain's like, we need to pass that function over to the other side. We're
at
capacity
too much
here.
stuff
We have limited capacity.
We're damaged.
And infants are generally ambidextrous until they're about 2 or 3, which is where they start to show a certain preference. And they think this could be due to the fact that this is generally the age when kids go into kindergarten and they start to like write and color and do these hand activities. So it's generally when they start to choose.
Cute.
Now there's many researchers and just many folklore things that lead people to believe that your handedness determines a lot about your life. So one of the things that they think it determines is your intelligence. Now, people are completely split on this one. There's a group of people who think that left-handed people are more intelligent, and there's a group of people who think that they are dumb. So, the people who think they're intelligent, Chris McManus from the University College of London argues that an above-average portion of the higher achievers in the world are left-handed. And he believes that the brains of left-handed people are structured differently and structured in such a way that increases their abilities. And now something that's really interesting is that 4 of the 6 most recent presidents of the United States were left-handed.
Oh my God, cool.
Which kind of almost supports this. So Ronald Reagan, George Bush, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama were all left-handed people.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so sick. The best ones. No, I'm kidding.
I tried to like Google George Bush. Come on.
Yeah, sorry. I heard Barack Obama.
I tried to Google if like Biden was left-handed. And apparently there was a picture on the internet that somebody actually like edited and flipped to make it look like he was left-handed. There was a bunch of articles being like, it was a fake photo.
This debate runs so
Biden's
deep.
not left-handed.
That's
I know.
insane.
It's like, wow.
They like photoshopped him. They're like, God. They're trying to get us onto the other side.
Yeah, so they could be more intelligent. But then, of course, there's this other group of people who are like, I don't buy it. So there's this researcher, Joshua Goodman, that disagrees. And he found that in high school-aged children, left-handed people generally score lower on the SATs and the MCAT.
Oh.
And they have higher instances of intellectual disabilities.
Oh.
Which I don't think intellectual disabilities necessarily makes you stupid. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying, but I don't think that's a fair assumption. Just because you're dyslexic doesn't mean you're dumb.
Doesn't mean you're an idiot.
It just means you learn differently.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And in another study, researchers studied infants, and we kind of touched on this a little bit, and they observed that toddlers who use their right hand are more likely to have superior language skills as a kid, which kind of confuses me because that's like 90% of toddlers. 90% of people are right-handed. So are 90% of people superior? That just sounds normal to
They're
me.
just, it's just fine. They're toddlers. They're still figuring it out. Like, everyone learns at a different pace, Some people, that's okay. I don't know how I feel about this, like, language correlation thing. Like, I feel like the brain can do a lot of things, What side of the brain is creative and what side is, like, logical? Have you heard that? Where it's, like, left brain, right brain.
Oh, that song.
Left brain,
Bowen.
right brain, and yeah.
I can't remember what it is, though. I don't know if that, I pretty much know nothing about neuroscience, I'm going to be honest with you. So I don't know, like, if that is, like, a myth or if it's true that different sides of your brains are different. I think that different areas of your brain are different things, but I don't know if it necessarily correlates to, like, specific sides. But it could.
Okay.
But I remember learning when I was, like, I think I was in grade 8. I remember our teacher telling us this thing where some people have these certain type of seizures, and in order to treat it, they actually sever the 2 sides of the brains, and it like helps treat the seizure. But for those people, they have like a delay between seeing things and putting language to things. Like if they start drawing something with their hand, or if you tell them something, I forget what it is. They can like draw something before they can name it. That's so all I remember because there's a delay.
Yeah.
People will probably correct me on that, but it's something like that. Anyways, moving on. Interesting. So they may or may not be more intelligent. Another thing is music. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think that just left-handed people in general are more creative. And in 2 studies, they found that people with left hand dominance were significantly better in musical memory tasks and at perceiving differences in musical patterns. And they even did this study where they asked people to like hold a flag in their right hand and then hold a flag in their left hand and wave it while they were listening to like a presidential speech. And people perceive the speech differently depending on which hand they were waving the flag in.
So weird.
Yeah, it could affect your musical abilities.
Oh my god. That's so interesting. You're like waving it with your right hand and you're like, wow, so he loves America. And then you're waving it with your left and you're like, what a horrible person. Yeah, something like that.
I think it was more perceived differences in like the pattern and pace and tempo of the speech. But yeah, it's
That's
weird.
so cool.
So another thing is health. Left-handed people, this is supported by science. Left-handed people, unfortunately, have correlated to more negative health outcomes.
Damn.
So left-handed people, which kind of supports the theory that it could be due to nutritional deficiencies or issues during pregnancy.
Yeah.
So I'm about to give you a whole list of things that left-handed people are at higher risk for.
Uh-oh.
All right. So they're more likely to have lower birth rates, a variety of psychiatric disorders such as autism and depression, more likely to have cerebral palsy, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis.
Oh my God.
Left-handed people with uteruses are more likely to develop breast cancer.
Wait,
left-handed
what?
people...
How the fuck does this work? What if you just
know.
what if you're just a right-handed person though, and you have these things? Does that mean that you're like a disguised left-handed person, and that someone just had taught you
It doesn't
to
mean
be
that
right-handed?
right-handed people can't have these things. Left-handed people just are at slightly higher risk.
I wonder if that's because of like a muscle group that you're using. Because the left side of your body, like, maybe it has something to do with the heart. And how, like, the blood goes in and out on different sides of the heart. And then if you're using your left arm, then you're growing the muscle in a different side of your heart than if you use your right hand.
Harvard.
Harvard, let me know. I'll send in my applications today.
It could be. Or it could be because of the deficiencies.
The nutritional deficiencies. That's so sad.
Yeah.
Although I'm thinking about left-handed people that I know, and like their moms are questionable. No, I'm kidding. I kid. All my left. I actually don't know if I know anyone who's left-handed. Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
I didn't know that.
It's okay.
No, I don't think I know any left-handed people.
They're also more at risk of heart disease, bone fractures, and immune disorders.
Your bones are weaker? That does support.
You can literally get more fractures if you're left-handed, which is absolutely wild.
Sucks.
And there's some researchers that think this is due to natural selection. Left-handedness presents a certain like survival disadvantages, and therefore their genes are now like weaker in a sense because it's harder for them to survive. But this isn't really supported, because if that theory were true, there would be higher proportions of people from the Stone Age that were left-handed than there are now, but there isn't. They did like studies on corpses or dentals or whatever, and they found that it's pretty much the same instance. So the natural selection thing isn't really supported. Left-handed people are not going extinct.
Yes, they're not going extinct. New left-handed people are created every single day.
Every single day.
Every day.
And it's really cool, actually, how they figured out how people were left-handed from the Stone Age, is that they literally looked at not dental records, I guess they didn't have records back then, but they found like corpses and looked at their teeth. Yeah. And they looked at the way that their teeth were angled, because people would eat with a certain hand and chew on a certain side if they were left-handed versus right-handed, and wear down their teeth at a different angle. And that's how they figured out who were left-handed and right-handed. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so sick.
And now the last thing that left-handed people are actually have an advantage, and this is proven, is sports. People with left-hand dominance are a lot better at a lot of competitive sports and hand-to-hand combat as well. And now they're particularly good at competitive sports that include throwing things or balls, or so tennis, cricket, basketball. Left-handed people are better at it, because basically what happens is they throw the ball or hit the ball at a slightly different angle than right-handed people do, and it basically just catches right-hand people off guard.
They don't have training against left-handed people, and they're just like,
it's just like the element of surprise, and that's how they're so good at sports.
That's so cool.
They surprise people.
Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, that's so sick.
And that's also why they're better at sports like fencing and boxing, or just a good old,
I can imagine for fencing, like, that must be really confusing, because instead of like right versus right, and then you get to like cross them over like that, you're suddenly fighting on like the outside of your arm against this person, and they're just like completely comfortable because they just fight against right-handed people all the time. Ooh, it would be interesting to see a left-handed fencer versus a left-handed fencer, to see what would happen.
I know, I was thinking that too. where's your advantage now?
That's so cool. I honestly feel like I am a left-handed person in disguise as a right-handed person. And I don't think it's because of nutritional deficiencies. I think this is something this is a folk tale, I guess, something my mom told me when I was younger. But for some reason, left-handedness is associated with Satan. And so...
I have that, yes.
Oh, okay, go for it.
I'll get into it. Let me just finish up this whole sports and hand-to-hand combat. So they're better at fighting sports, and they're better at fights. But it's really sad that, unfortunately, the second a weapon is introduced, like a gun or something like that, essentially left-handed people are a lot worse at combat. So
what?
During war, left-handed people are twice as likely to die than right-handed people.
Why?
Like soldiers.
What
because guns and weapons are designed for right-handed people. So they're simply just like not designed properly for left-handed people, and left-handed people end up dying more.
I thought that... What? Oh,
Isn't
okay.
that so sad?
I'm trying to think about how guns work. So like, because guns and swords, like they're the same, aren't they? Like,
I think
maybe
guns,
the safety is just different on a gun or something.
I think
like
the
that?
controls and stuff might be different for guns.
Wow.
And it's just sad that they just haven't like created left-handed and right-handed guns for people literally going to war.
There's left-handed hockey sticks. Why don't you have left-handed guns?
Come on now. Let's go.
That's so weird. Aww.
And now, left-handed people have unfortunately faced discrimination for thousands of years. And Lydia touched on this a little bit, but many Latin-based languages, the word left actually the word right correlates with correct, proper, and good. Even in the English language, that is right. You are right.
Yeah.
That's how we say that's correct. And the word left often translates to unlucky, awkward, or even sinister.
Oh, yeah, left behind.
So many children throughout history that were left-handed were forced to be right-handed because of these connotations. And in the Middle Ages, it was actually believed that the devil was left-handed. So that's why it was highly discouraged in children, because they were like, oh, the devil.
Yeah.
You must be the devil.
Why are
You're
you
writing with your left hand.
The devil isn't. Yeah. And they're like, don't let the devil enter your body by writing with your left hand. Because you do the sign of the cross with your right hand. So,
Catholicism.
I know. It's insane.
Doing great things all the time.
I'm fucking crazy.
And American teachers and doctors in the early 1900s believed that left-handers were more prone to mental disorders, which is kind of supported by science.
Yeah,
and they pressured most children to switch to their other hand. In Taiwan, it wasn't until very recently that they stopped forcing children to write with their right hand. But this is because their language is actually almost impossible to write with your left hand. Because of the way that the strokes are and like the pen that you use and stuff like that, it's almost impossible to write it correctly.
Oh, that's interesting. So, but now they're like, you know what? If you want to try it,
whatever,
fucking go for it. We're sick and tired of this shit. We can't keep putting money into getting people to not be left-handed.
We can't keep doing this. They're not going away. Also, in the Soviet Union, children were forced to write with their right hand.
Yeah, well,
just because,
Soviet
Union.
Yeah. Say no more.
As you get older, your handedness actually just decreases. So when you're born, you don't really care. And then as you get older, you start choosing one hand. It becomes really dominant. And then you get to a certain point and it declines again. And you start to kind of become ambidextrous again.
What? That's so
and this
fun.
is because your dominant hand starts just to get shakier and weaker to a point that it literally doesn't matter anymore. Which hand you use, because they both suck.
Shit. It's not as fun and fresh as I thought it was gonna be.
That to look forward to, which I think is the same thing in children. Like, they haven't trained that hand for writing and stuff like that yet, so they're both kind of whatever.
Yeah. And then eventually wear and tear and arthritis and using your body, unfortunately, it causes it to disintegrate. Which is weird, because not using your body causes it to disintegrate too. Like, there's just no winning. You might as well just...
Yeah, I think just aging is just...
Yeah, they're both the same. And then your left gets bumped up to the same, like, lower level as your right?
No.
Oh.
No.
Just aging.
It's just, they just both suck at that point. I guess your right declines faster than your left. I don't really know. I wonder, though, if because of like the digital age, if handedness and hand dominance is going to start becoming less and less, because like children write less and less. They mostly type now.
Yeah, that's
so I wonder
true.
if like
and you type with both
everyone's
hands.
going to be ambidextrous.
Ooh, that's so sick. That'd be so cool. I've always wanted to be ambidextrous, but you still have to like eat, and like eating is with one hand, right? So maybe that's a dominant hand thing. What else do you have to do?
Yeah, there's still things that cause dominance. I just think it'll be
Brushing your
harder
hair,
to like
doing your makeup.
strengthen that dominant hand. It's not going to be as strong.
Lucky kids. Yeah, I see what you mean, because they're not going to be writing as much. They're not practicing that muscle. Have you ever tried brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand?
No,
Try
I
it
was
tonight.
just thinking about
It's
that.
so
and
fucking
even the
hard.
thought of it disturbs me.
Right? It's so
I'll try it.
difficult. Because I have a personal fringe theory. Okay, so
Oh no. Okay,
let's get into So I believe that in many women, your left boob is bigger than your right boob. And I believe that this is because many of us have a dominant right hand. And because of this dominance, the muscle, it firms up and it grows stronger, and it kills the fat, I guess. It kills the fat cells in your right boob, which makes it smaller. And that's why a lot of people's left boobs are just like, silly boob, you know, because you just haven't built the muscle in your chest or like jiggled it enough, you know, to get rid of the fat. So that's why.
It's like cardio for your boob.
Exactly. And throughout your whole life, you're doing everything right-handed. So your right boob is nicer than your left boob. And so if you start doing things with your left hand, then maybe, this is an experiment that I will start conducting today, and I'll get back to you in a couple of years, maybe the left boob will begin to come together and be the same as the right. Size-wise. And maybe even like direction-wise. I've heard of some women who have like just a left boob that is all over the place.
I don't know if this like, because I've heard that when you strengthen that muscle, like if you start doing like push-ups and stuff like that, it actually makes your boobs bigger.
Okay.
So you'll have to conduct the experiment for us and let us know what the consensus is. Do they get bigger or smaller?
I will.
You use that muscle?
Think. Okay. I will let you know. I think that muscle in your chest, like it'll grow your like chest muscles, but your boob.
Yeah.
So it'll make it look like it's bigger, maybe like cleavage wise.
We're gonna do a Instagram quiz this week. And we're going to ask, are you left-handed or right-handed? And then we're going to ask which boob is bigger.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
And see if it correlates at all.
That sounds good. Yeah. Let's do our little experiment on the podcast. That sounds good. Let's do it.
And now the sad truth is that the world is designed for right-handed people.
Oh.
And left-handed people are just kind of left to like struggle through the world. Which is something that I really never took into consideration as a right-handed person, all of the things that are designed just for me. And I think on some scale, this is like a really good example of why representation matters. And I know this is getting very deep, but I think it's like a simplistic way to demonstrate why it's important, you know? When right-handed people make all of the things, they don't work for left-handed people. So it's important to have left-handed people also represented. Yeah. You know, like the testing boards and stuff like that. So that is my argument as to why representation is important. But I'm also going to give you a list of things that are designed specifically for right-handed people that left-handed people really struggle to use.
Okay.
First one, scissors. Almost impossible to use. They make left-handed scissors now, but you have to like purposely seek them out. And most schools and stuff like that for kids don't have left-handed scissors.
That's such a good point. So do left-handed people just have to use scissors with their right hand, or is it just like,
or they have to like flip it in a weird way to cut it. They have to almost like cut upside down.
Yeah, I've actually used scissors with my left hand before, and you just have to like adjust your pressure. Like you have to push the bottom out and then push the top scissor in, and then it'll work. I don't remember why I had to do that, but for some reason my right hand was indisposed, and I just like was learning how to do scissors with my left hand. It was
just trying to make her boobs smaller, guys.
I just want them to be even.
Another thing is can openers designed for right-handed people. They have left-handed people have to open it upside down or use the wrong hand. Yeah. Jean zippers. Your zipper is on, because there's like a flap and there's a zipper part. The zipper part is on the right-hand side, so left-handed.
So you have to like
really
reach
difficult.
around.
See the zipper or use your right hand.
Yeah.
Mugs are designed.
No, mugs are ambidextrous. I resent no.
Okay, here, I'm going to do a little demonstration for you here. Okay. If I hold it with my right hand.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is double logoed, so it doesn't really work that way.
The logo?
I'll show you this one. It's about the logo. Because this is actually the perfect mug to exemplify this with, because this mug has always bugged me, and I think it's because it's a left-handed mug. When I use it with my left hand, I can't see the design, and for some reason this bugs me to no end. And if I use it with my right hand, I can see the design, and I honestly use this mug with my left hand just
so you can see the design?
That specific reason.
I think that mugs are supposed to be designed on the outside so everyone else can see the design.
I want to see it. So maybe it's every mug.
I bought the mug. I want to see the design.
Mugs are essentially designed for people
funny.
With a certain hand.
That reminds me of this.
Oh yeah.
Of this mug that my I think one of my aunts or like someone she knows was left-handed. I don't totally remember what the story was, but she has this mug that's left-handed, and it has a hole in the mug where a right-handed person would pick it up. So if you tip the mug and you're going to drink it, the drink will spill through the hole and onto you. But if you're a left-handed person, you can just pick it up and drink normally. Yeah. It's like, you're not fucking left-handed. It's like,
this
it's like
very pick me.
It's like, why is there a hole in this mug? And she's like, I'm left-handed. I'm special.
That's so rude.
Well, the world is designed for right-handed people.
That's the one thing that they can have.
Exactly.
Mugs with holes in them. Binders and notebooks. That one's pretty obvious. This is kind of only for languages that are
right to left
reading. What do we? Yeah. Is that what we? Yeah.
Yeah. No, we go left to right. Sorry, my bad.
Left to right. Weapons, which we went over. Knives. This one I never considered. Knives technically have a sharper side to them, and they're cut in a certain way that makes it easier for them to make a clean cut when you use a certain hand.
Oh my god.
Wild.
You're right. That's almost the same as the weapon thing. I guess that's the same with the fencing, maybe. Because one side is like angled a little bit, and then the other side is just straight. So the angle. Oh my god, that's so cool. I had no idea.
Table desks. That one's pretty obvious. But they do make table desks for left-handed people. So I understand the struggle, because I have been forced to sit at a left-handed desk and
on the left-handed table desk, and you're just like, it just doesn't work.
Fridges always open from a certain side, but you can actually switch fridges.
Yeah, you can switch that.
What I've learned, but
you can change the
they're generally designed to open from a certain side. Microwaves. This one I learned myself by looking around my kitchen. I was like, what in this kitchen is designed for me and not for other people? But all of the buttons and controls and stuff like that are on the right-hand side of the microwave. So it's really easy for me to... But if I was left-handed, when I opened the door, it would hit me.
Yeah, you would have to reach over, and you would really have to do one thing at a time. Or you can't open and do the buttons. Yeah. Wow, that's so inconvenient.
What?
That takes an extra 3 seconds out of your day. Oh my god, poor left-handed people. They just waste a lot of time doing mundane things. They probably don't even notice anymore. They're probably so used to it by now that they don't even realize that they're taking a little bit of extra time to do things.
They're probably also better at using their non-dominant hand, just because they're forced to so often.
A little bit more ambidextrous than the rest of us.
Measuring cups are actually the glass ones.
Yeah.
Because of the handle, where the handle is, when right-handed people hold them, they have the correct measurements, like cups and stuff like that. And when left-handed people do it, they get the other side.
They get the milliliters
or whatever. So you can actually buy left-handed measuring cups if you're really into baking.
Oh, they've acknowledged that the world is just not made for left-handed people.
Cars in North America.
Okay.
If you drive stick.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little bit more difficult for you if you go to Europe.
Yeah.
Computer keyboards and mice are designed for right-handed people. The number pad, the enter, all of the important stuff is generally on the right-hand side. Pencil sharpeners. Designed for right-handed people. Pens at the bank are designed for right-handed people because of the little chain. It's always on the wrong side.
Can you imagine trying to write with your left and then you're just getting ripped by the chain? Oh, sad.
Credit card machines designed, if you have to swipe your credit card, it's really hard as a left-handed person because it's on the right-hand side.
Yeah, and you would have to like put your whole hand over the machine and then swipe down, probably hit a couple buttons on the way, accidentally cancel. Oh man.
Guitars? You could buy left-handed guitars.
I think you can switch your guitar to be whatever direction you want, can't you?
Yeah, but I think like the default. I think you can buy left-handed guitars.
Oh.
But I think the default that you get a guitar in is...
Oh, I thought you could just change them around to be whatever you want.
I think it depends on the guitar. If it was like a acoustic guitar, maybe. But if it was an electric guitar, they have like controls and it's normally not like a symmetrical guitar.
Oh, yeah.
So
you're right. You're right. Then you would be holding it like upside down and like the whammy would be on the wrong place. Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. I totally... Okay.
Guitar Hero, yeah. Vegetable peelers, kind of the same thing as knives. One of the sides is sharp, one of the sides is dull, so that when you pull it towards you, it cuts it, but it doesn't cut you. So if you're left-handed, you have to like awkwardly do it a different way. I don't really know which way it is, but you can't use them properly.
Oh god, that's horrible.
And then the last one that I have on my list, but certainly not the last one that exists in the world, is cameras. Cameras are also designed for right-handed people.
Oh, there are no left-handed photographers in the world.
I don't think that's true. I think they just learned to use their other hand.
Yeah, probably. Wow, that's so sad.
So that's a little summary of some things that you could struggle with if you're left-handed, and check on your left-handed friends because they're struggling.
Check in on them every once in a while. See how they're doing.
Left-handed people actually have a whole day dedicated to them, and that's on August 13th is International Left-Handed Day.
Wow.
So if you know a left-handed person, wish them a happy left-handed day on that day, please.
And maybe peel a potato for them.
Yeah, they're struggling. And yeah, that's kind of all I have for you guys today. And I think after I've been through this, the opinion is probably that it doesn't really matter if you're left-handed. It doesn't really mean anything. Like people think, like you're probably not associated to the devil. Your life probably isn't that much. But here's the thing. I'm not going to say your life probably isn't that much worse. It probably doesn't matter, but you probably struggle a lot.
But you probably don't
just
notice.
Because the world is designed for right-handed people.
Yeah.
You know? Doesn't mean you're smarter, doesn't mean any of these things, but it does mean you have a little bit more barriers in your way in your day-to-day life. So I'm sorry. I never checked my right-handed privilege, you know?
Me neither.
It's a privilege I didn't know I had. So I am sorry. This is my apology, my open apology letter to all left-handed people.
All left-handed people.
My bad.
I'm sorry. I've been taking it easy.
I took so much for advantage.
Yeah, I know, right? Man, if the world was built for left-handed people, I'd be screwed. I don't do anything with my left hand. I need to start though, because this is not. Yeah, we'll let you know about the experiment.
And that's the opinion, guys. Thank you for coming to the talk.
Cool. That's so cool. I want to be ambidextrous so badly. I think that would be so sick. So sick. And okay, maybe this is another thing that they may struggle with, our fellow left-handed friends. Possibly there might be something to this lead poisoning. Okay, stick with me on this.
I already am with you. Yeah,
right. If you're writing with your left hand and you're smudging everything as you go, not any of your fault. Smudging is not a negative term. Smudging is very much neutral. It's okay. The world isn't built for you. It's fine.
Don't worry.
So you're writing, you're smudging, which is okay, but at the end of the day, you're going to lift up your arm and you're just going to have a shit ton of ink or a shit ton of lead just all over every day if you're like in elementary school, in high school, and then if you're like not using a computer or anything like that. So I feel like there may be chances of getting lead poisoning as a kid who was born like maybe in a like millennial or early Gen Z kind of time. That's what I was going to say.
There's no lead anymore. But
yeah, no. You guys are probably fine. You have other things to worry about, like fucking radiation. But
maybe, you know what? You might be onto something with the whole like health disadvantages of being left-handed. You know, maybe this data was gathered in a time when there were lead pencils, and maybe it was just because all of the lead was being absorbed through your skin topically.
Yes, and that's why everything is weaker because you're just slowly being poisoned
faster than your right-handed folk.
Wow.
We did it. We solved it.
Mystery solved. Now we just have to see like how the next generation does, how the left-handed people are doing, so we can like really confirm if this left-handed lead poisoning thing or ink poisoning thing is like actually legit. Keep doing your research, science, and we'll be right there along with you. If you guys want to hear more of us and you want to check out our poll this week, make sure you go to our Instagram at very.unimportant.people. We'll get the polls up and running. I know you guys missed it a lot. All 12 of you who participated, love you. XOXO. But we'll get them up and running. You can check it out on Wednesdays or Thursdays. And while you're there, why don't you go to our Patreon, which is in our link tree in our bio. And you can pay $4 for access to 69 videos and like behind the scenes stuff and like other little rambly things that we talked about and some funny bloopers and stuff like that. So check us out. And you can also find us on Twitter at @theunimportantppl, and you can email us at hatersclickhere@gmail.com, and that's HATRS@gmail.com. And finally, you can find us on TikTok, and that's where the party is. So make sure you go check out our TikTok. Give us a follow. We're almost at 400 followers, so let's rack that baby up. Let's get there. Yeah, we're at 388, and when I checked yesterday. Soon TikTok is going to beat our Instagram. And you guys are so much more, like, talkative on TikTok, which we love. So
Organic followers.
leave your hate comments, leave your love comments. We love them either way, and we'll talk about them behind your back either way. So thank you so much for coming to the podcast this week. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye. Have a great.